Previously on Bleach, the Stern Ritters leave. Ichigo's a Quincy. Ichigo's mom was a Quincy. Ichigo's dad is ambiguous at the moment. And Byakuya finally dies. Huh. Yep, completely and utterly dead. His Zanpakuto disappeared and everything. He is gone. What? Hey everybody, Tekking101 here to review Bleach chapter number 515 entitled Relics. Two things. Number one, I have a very bad cold, so if I get all nasally in the video, you know, expect that. You can still laugh, just giving you a heads up. And the second thing is, there are a couple shout-outs here that I forgot to give yesterday in my contest winners video, so I apologize deeply for that. And those people are Raptor Peregrine, Smitten99, 321 Kaiser, The Nile1, and Kato756. I think that's all of them. If anyone else didn't get a shout-out, please state it. I'll be getting a lot more videos out this week. So yeah, just apologize for that, and now we can get into the chapter. So we open up with the medical squad finally getting some use in the entire war. They're finally going around and collecting all the wounded. They are being a little bit more, you know, just like I think the third seat, Imura, I think is, yeah, the third seat of the 4th Division is Imura. He's giving orders to just leave the dead behind because you have to tend to the wounded first, like, or at least the seemingly dead. Okay, so we get over to Unohana's office where finally we get an explanation as to what the hell they were doing the entire war arc. And apparently what happened is even Asane was a little bit more troubled by this. I mean, not as troubled as when she had dry skin, because that was the pressing issue of that day. But here she seems much more distraught over the fact they didn't go out and try to help at all during the war, and she's even to the point of crying and apologizing to Unohana for feeling this way. Unohana states that the reason they did not do that was that the Captain Commander gave them a final order to stay in the barracks no matter what. And okay, I'm glad Kubo mentioned it. I really am, because that was something you couldn't overlook. I'm like, why is the captain of the medical squad not doing anything? It would make sense why Yamamoto would do that. I mean, after Yamamoto, Unohana is probably essentially the strongest captain. I mean, it's just chain of command, really. She's the second oldest captain next to Shunsui and Ukitake, so it would make sense why she might even be in the second command right now. She might be in command of the Seirete at the moment. So it would make sense why, and along with that, you know, just for her medical skills, Yamamoto would want to keep her safe. So he says, you know, stay in the barracks. That would go for Isane too, because Isane is pretty skilled in healing. But here's there's really nothing you could have done. There's nothing you couldn't have sent, you know, like the medical division's pretty big. I mean, you couldn't send at least a couple guys out in the field just to see if you could take a few wounded members, because as the way we are now, Yamamoto did not know that the Stern Ritters were going to leave. He didn't know they were going to retreat. So the way he gave the orders to Unohana, it's like, stay in here no matter what. For all Yamamoto could know, they could have wiped out the entire Seirete. Everyone could have been dead. And it's without a doubt in my mind that if the Stern Ritters kept their assault going on, if they were not encumbered by the shadows at all, if that shadow thing did affect all the Stern Ritters, you know, we saw it affect Juha last chapter. We don't know if it affected all the Stern Ritters in the same way. But if they continued their assault, the Soul Society would have been dead. I mean, they already burned the rubble to the ground pretty much. It's nothing there. Thousands of Shinigami have already died. So that's what I mean is a little bit odd. Like, Yamamoto, you know, gave the orders for Unohana and Asane to stay in the barracks, but Unohana maybe could have sent out some medical squad just to see how they could do. It's kind of the same reason why none of the Shinigami use Kido in the fight. People are saying, well, they couldn't use Kido because the Quincy's they can absorb Reishi, so they would have just nullified the Kido, or they would have absorbed it and made themselves stronger. You could have tried. That's the thing. Like, try Kido. It doesn't work. Okay, don't try it anymore. Same thing with the medical squad. But, you know, I've harped on this long enough. I am glad that Kubo at least mentioned it, because that was kind of a little of an issue while she was just having a little tea party. But yeah, let's continue. So next page we cut over to the inside of the medical barracks. Paging Dr. Caesar Clown, please report to pediatrics. Caesar Clown to pediatrics. Where we see Ichigo, along with the medical division member, he's kind of being debriefed on the whole situation of what was going on in Huecamundo. He's being caught up to speed pretty much. Now, here's a little thing some people might get a little mad at, me included. But this is how we learn that Kisuke, Sato, and Orihime are okay. Some random medical division member hands him a piece of paper that says Kisuke, Sato, and Orihime are okay. Do we get to find out what happened with Kurji? No! Do we get to find out what happened with the sword guy? No! We get a text message from Kisuke that says, everything's fine. LOL. Ah, why? Why would you do it like that? Oh, God. Oh, well. I guess that's the one thing in this chapter that really made me mad. I don't really know what else is coming, but I'm pretty sure nothing could make me that mad. What's with the ominous music? So Ichigo stares over at, I believe it's Ikaku. He's howling that, the captain definitely did not get killed. I was actually a little confused as to whether this was Renji or Ikaku, but Renji shows up later. So yeah, this is Ikaku howling for his captain. I think I finally got a character right. I'm so happy that I finally got a character right in a panel. I hope. Then we cut over to Hinataro, of all people. We haven't seen him in forever. Kind of refreshing to see him in this chapter, finally. Ichigo's chatting with him for a little bit. Who gotta love Ichigo, it's just like... I know a lot more time has passed. Like, this is probably maybe like a couple hours, if not even a day after the whole incident with the Stern Raiders, so I would understand why Ichigo's mood has changed. It's just like two chapters ago, Ichigo was like mega pissed, and now he's just like, oh, I'm fine, I already got first aid treatment, so what's up with you, Hinataro, what's going on with the whole medical division thing? You know what really? Whatever. So, Shinji shows up behind Ichigo and states he finished operating on Rukia and Renji. Okay, didn't know Shinji was a doctor, but, I guess he watched a lot of House when he was in the living world. Ichigo goes to see them, and Rukia wakes up for a little bit, and I have to admit, this is a pretty touching moment, because Rukia is, like, beaten and broken, like, she has a bandage covering her eye. She just turns to Ichigo with her little smile, and she says, you came here to protect the Soul Society, and they had their little back and forth. So yeah, that was a little, I actually like that scene, because that was pretty neat. So Ichigo leaves, and Shinji talks to Rukia a little bit more about how there was something else Ichigo was kind of hiding from them, which is, of course, the whole brain screw that is Ichigo's mother, which, in case you're curious as to what I think about where Ichigo's going right now, the logical choice where Ichigo would be going, I mean, the 12th Division said they needed him for something, but the obvious thing if I was Ichigo, I would go talk to Isshin ASAP. Hey, Dad? Hey, son, what's going on? Was Mama Quincy? Oh, you got me. Yeah, she was. Oh, come on, Dad. Really? Come on. Does his family have any more freaking secrets? So we cut over to the 1st Division barracks where we have 7 captains, Rose, Soifone, Komamura, Shinji, Kyoraku, Kensei, and Toshiro all mourning the loss of the head captain Yamamoto. All they could find of his body was just his charred sword. They couldn't find any more of him, which would lead you to believe that he was like atomized by Juha's like onslaught of arrows. One of the Stealth Force members shows up and states that Byakuya Kuchiki, captain of the 6th Division, and Kenpachi Zaraki of the 11th Division both were able to escape death. What? Byakuya Kuchiki, captain of the 6th Division, and Kenpachi Zaraki of the 11th Division both were able to escape death. Play the clip.
Oh, come on! Why won't he just die?
Okay, next order of business. You! Come over here! We need to have a talk. Alright. This is the crap I'm talking about, people. This is the crap I'm talking about. When no main character can die in Bleach, okay? This is the prime example. And it's not just that, it's not like they get injured and it's left ambiguous if they were dead, okay? It's not like that where we think they might be dead but they're really not, okay? That's understandable. That's like with Kenpachi, okay? Like, I didn't actually think Kenpachi was dead. I don't think any of us really thought that Kenpachi was dead. But with Byakuya, this is the stuff he does do. He does like a massive circle jerk. He got shredded by Zenbone Sakura like 4 to 5 times, washed over, thousands of blaze, Rager edged. The dude got drilled into a freaking wall. He got blood, like 70% of his blood was on the outside of his body. Okay, if that's not good enough for you, then Ichigo shows up and he's like, I won't last much longer. If that's not good enough for you, his freaking Zanpakuto toe disappears. And that's the thing I'm really pissed about, because ever since Zanpakutos were explained in the series, as long as they've been in the mythos of this series, they've always been explained and stated that the Zanpakuto and the Shinigami are one and the same. If one goes, the other one goes. And Zenbone Sakura disappeared, and Byakuya is still alive. He might be in a coma, but that doesn't matter. He's still alive. So, you know what, Kubo? You know what you could have done to make me happy. I still probably would have been a little bit more pissed even if you did this. Just keeping him alive is one thing. But you know what you could have done? You could have not shown Zenbone Sakura disappeared. If you didn't do that, if you didn't show the sword disappearing, I would have been cool with it. But no, you had to go the extra mile and make it a giant circle jerk. So you know what? Screw it, Kubo. Just screw it. The only way that we can know for sure is if somebody dies in this series is if they get freaking disintegrated like Yamamoto did. That's the only way we know if they're actually dead, is if not one cell of them is left alive to resurrect, okay? In any other case, they're still alive, so screw it. Izuru's still alive, Kenpachi's still alive, Kurji's still alive, if that's how you want to play it. Moving on. So Soifone yells at the Stealth Force member to just leave because they don't want to hear that right now. To which Kensei responds by asking her to calm down because she's acting pitiful. Then she snaps out at Kensei because apparently Kensei had some little beef with the Yamamoto, like he didn't like him that much. Which the only way I can possibly relate this is to when Yamamoto gave Kensei the order to go out and scout when it turned out the eyes and activated the holification on them. So maybe that's the only way I can see Kensei not really liking Yamamoto that much. But other than that, I really can't see any other rivalry between them. Anyway, so Soifone lashes out at him for it, to which Komamura responds, "Do you think you're the only one that wants to scream?" Why are you a fox? Oh, okay, everyone calm down, let's not fight. Oh, shut up, Shunsui. Your injuries aren't even that bad. Yamamoto got disintegrated, Byakuya's in a coma. Compared to that, yeah, losing your right eye is really terrible. Why don't you go join the Straw Hat Pirates where you're at it? Hey. I was considering it after this whole mess is over. Yeah, and also, look at poor Rose over there. He got totally... Whoa, Rose, what the hell? I'm sorry, what? I just kind of zoned out there. No, dude, how are you still alive? We all thought you were dead. What happened to your opponent? Oh, well, actually, it's a pretty interesting story. You see, what happened was, I like to scream, too! Lasers. Wait, what? So, Shunsui kind of calms all the captains down from shouting and turning on one another, because this is not the time for that. Obviously, he's kind of taking the reins here. He's kind of acting more like a leader, which is maybe symbolic of what's going to happen later on. He states that the Gochi 13 were not meant for this purpose. They were meant to protect the Soul Society, and that's how the chapter ends right there. He states, and also he states pretty much that this was not what Yamamoto would have wanted for them to do after his death. Oh, no, keep on arguing. This is really funny. Hey, Kyan, come check this shit out. Oh, what's going on, man? Why do you have to do that every time I call you? Well, come on, man, I'm dead. I might as well enjoy free teleporting powers. Yeah, whatever. Come on, check out these chickens down there running around with their heads cut off after my tragic death. Yeah, your death really wasn't that tragic, dude. You really did not just say my death was not tragic. I got cut in half and then disintegrated by arrows. Dude, seriously, I got possessed by a hollow, killed by my favorite subordinate, possessed by a different hollow, and then killed by my subordinate again. Yeah, it could have been worse. Yeah, did I also say that both of those hollows had a thing for tentacle hentai? Yeah, okay, your death was more tragic. Okay, so that's enough of that. Chapter ends right there. Like I said, Shunsui's kind of taken the reins of the whole Soul Society. He's kind of taken them all together. So it's possible that Shunsui, like I said before, that he might become the new head captain. But we're really not thinking about that right now. What they're probably trying to do right now is just rebuild as much as humanly possible and trying to prepare themselves for the next wave of invasion. it's pretty clear that their forces have been decimated to such a degree that they're probably not going to be able to put up a fight again, because they were at full power when they first showed up, and now they just wrecked them. So what I think they're going to do is find out some way to finally contact the Zero Squad, because there's no other way that you can look at this. When they come back, when the Stern Raiders come back, and they will, because Juha said they will after the Zero Squad shows up on the battlefield, there's no way the Soul Society would be able to survive. Like, all of the cats would be wiped out. Half of them are, either in comas, have extreme injuries, or are dead. So, yeah, in this situation, I think they're going to figure out some way to contact the Zero Squad. I'm not saying the Zero Squad's going to show up next chapter, but it might be mentioned. As for Ichigo, I would like to think he would go see Isshin or see somebody about his mother, maybe Uryu in that regard, but in this situation, I don't think he's going to that. I think he's going to go to the 12th Division, where Mayuri actually might have to, maybe Mayuri knows that Ichigo has Bleach or something, like he figured it out, and he wants to explain to Ichigo exactly what's going on with his body. So that could be a thing next chapter. As for Byakuya, I am pissed that he's not dead, just because that, Kubo did that thing where he laid it on super heavy that he was dead, and he wasn't. But I don't think he's going to be back in any time soon. He's probably in some type of coma. Kenpachi might have a more likely opportunity of coming back up and maybe joining the front lines. But as for Byakuya, he's probably definitely out of the battle for now. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened in this chapter. It was more dialogue centric. It was more like a regrouping type thing of where do we go from here after this massive invasion just wiped out our entire home. So next chapter, hopefully we'll build upon that. Maybe we'll get maybe like 1 or 2 more chapters based on that regrouping thing, and maybe we'll get a chapter based like maybe we'll cut back to the Ice Palace and see what the Stern Raiders are up to, like what their next plan of attack is and everything, and also expect maybe some kind of flashback chapter in the upcoming months about what's with Ichigo's mother. So there's some things to look forward to. Thanks everybody for watching my video. Tekking101 signing out.